Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jeff, 0% Credit Crypto Sekinger, and in today's video, I'm going to go over something incredibly important, which is what I believe is going to happen to the market in the short and midterms. And I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. So, first of all, I will kick things off instead of wasting your time. If you could, before this, let me know where you're from. I always like to know where everyone is from. So, whatever city you are tuning in from, please let me know in the comments section below. And let's go ahead and jump in. So, first of all, I think that the market is likely to take a little dip, and I'll share with you why for multiple reasons. Number one, this is what I always look for is like we'll have a lot of appreciation, or I should say, even a lot of volatility in either direction. And I always like to look at the volume. So like this is something. These are just different indicators down here. Honestly, we don't even need to be looking at the hash ribbons anymore. I actually don't even think I shot a video on that. But what I do, like I like to look at, okay, price is going up, right? We see volume spiking. Then we see volume declining. And then what that usually means is when you see price appreciation, then you kind of see it, you see the higher highs getting less and less of a percentage gain from the previous highs. And you start to see this rounding effect, and then you create a head and shoulders pattern, and then you head lower. And while this is playing out, you also see volume decreasing. That usually means that price is going to head lower. And that's actually what we're seeing right now. If you look at where we're at, we've seen volume dropping since we came all the way down to just under 30K on that ridiculous sell-off. We saw volume come all the way down. You see how it keeps slanting. And then even when price has been going up, the volume has still been on a downtrend overall. And now we're starting to see this curve over the top, and it's looking like a head and shoulders pattern. And actually, there's actually a diamond forming, which is really just a reversal of a trend. If we drew it in here, I'm too lazy to do that right now. But if you look on the 4-hour, you'll see like a diamond pattern in here where you can you would draw. Let's see. It's actually, I think it's on the 1 day. And I also want to show you one thing too on the 1 day here. This market cipher signal. So this market cipher puts a lot of signals together, to a lot of different indicators to create its signal, I should say. And what a great time to short is when you have a diamond and an X. So you have a diamond and then an X. That's historically been a great time to short. Diamond and X, diamond and X, diamond and X. Here were diamonds, but there was no X. X just means like short, right? So if we see a diamond and an X on the daily, that has historically been a really good time to short. And we did just see that indicator play out like literally a day ago. So that's something I look for as well. Just market cipher in general. You can see the red dots and the waves starting to come down as well. The momentum waves kind of creating this U shape, just like we're seeing with the price and the volumes declining. Another thing that I'm looking at is also open interest is up. So if that just means that like there's more leverage coming into the market. So when open interest is up and you combine it with all the other indicators that are likely showing that price is going to be moving one way or the other, that usually means there's going to be an explosive move. So when open interest is up and you start to see other indicators pointing to one direction, you're likely to have a lot of leverage pushing the price into that direction. Another thing we're seeing is that greed is pretty high. So this is the fear and greed index on crypto. And when it's high, you guys know Warren Buffett, I'm sure. You guys got to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So everyone else is greedy. It's likely, a good time to be a little bit fearful. So that's something I'm also looking at. And something that's even more statistically significant is the months. So it's cool to look at the history of Bitcoin and see what it's done. And the reason why we analyze Bitcoin, guys, is because Bitcoin determines everything else. Let's actually see if my leverage trade just executed. No, it's still conditional. So I'm going to go over that here in a second. But Another thing is, okay, let's see what Bitcoin has done in September, right? So in September, it's actually one of the worst months, if not the worst month to ever, to ever be long Bitcoin. If you look at September here, we've had pretty much all red months. The highest return we've had in September is 6%. So on average, we usually had a lot lower in September. So, and we're literally, today is August 31st. So we're about to head into September. And yeah, so pretty much all those things and quite a few other things, honestly, as far as like funding goes and things, on that I've been looking at on Glassnode are also pointing to likely price heading a little bit lower. So what does that actually mean? I do believe that price is heading. I don't think it's the end of the bull market. Okay, if you guys know anything about what I've been saying ever, right when we had this big drop, literally on the second or third day, I was like, hey, we're about to likely consolidate into a zone and have a U-shaped recovery, and that's literally exactly what's playing out. Just similar to 2013, where we had, but that was it was like a 6.5 month U-shaped recovery. This year, it was only 2.5 months. So honestly, a correction is pretty normal right now. We're pretty much due for it. I think we've had, so what, okay, only 2 monthly candles, but let's look on the weekly. I think it was like quite a few. So yeah. We had 5, and then the last week was just the first start of the first red candle. So we're honestly due for a decent little correction. Where I do think we are likely to head is right between the previous support and resistance, which let's just take this indicator off here because it's quite annoying, is right between like 42,500 and 43,800. So, like, for me, I'll share exactly what I'm doing right now with some of my positions. Also, this is, if you know anything about indicators and technical analysis, the 200-day moving average is very significant. We saw that play as support, and I do think if we break below this, we've definitely got to move down. So, what I'm doing right now is I set and by the way, if you guys don't trade, if you guys are in crypto, almost everyone on this listening to this video should probably not even trade because it is so volatile. It's so driven by retail, which means there's a lot of emotion in it, and it also means that a lot of things sometimes don't make sense at all. So even if you're a decent trader, it's difficult. There's so much volatility in the market, which presents opportunity, also makes it difficult. And you just don't have, like, if you're just an investor, just stick to investing. Investing is compounding money in the market. Trading is pulling money from the market. You don't have to pull money from the market. Like, just be a longer term investor and just buy the dips. Like, it's just dollar cost average the dips. When you have a decent amount of money in crypto and you want to hedge against some of your position, there's a few things, right? So if you believe that the price is going down, what could you do? There's like really three main things you can do. Okay, you can set buy limit orders, so you're just dollar cost averaging. So we literally set orders to buy Bitcoin or whatever coins we believe in at this price, at this price, at this price, at this price, right? You can literally just go over here by hitting a limit order and type in a price you want to buy it at and buy it. So as the price drops down, it buys for you. Another thing you could do is sell some of your position right now, but that's going to realize likely a capital gain depending on where you live and your tax laws. And so I sold a little bit of Solana today because it literally went up 650% in 4 weeks. So I'm like, hey, that's a little bit parabolic. So I might as well take some gains off the table. So I sold like 30 grand at $1.20. So, and then I'll likely rebuy if we head lower. But big fan of Solana, by the way. But that's another thing you do. Take some gains off the table and, wait for price to go lower. The thing is, you have to have an idea of like when you would buy in again, right? Because if you just liquidate your position and you have no strategy to get back in, you're probably going to get just emotional when the market's falling. You're going to think it's going to keep falling. And then when you see it, pumping up a little bit, you're probably going to wait to buy because you're still going to think it's going to head lower. And then all of a sudden it starts to head way higher. And then you don't even get back in the position. So you got to realize you got to have a strategy. You got to stick to it if you're getting back into it. And then also with the third thing that you can do is just use leverage. So like let's say that you don't want to sell your positions, you don't want to incur a capital gain. You can leverage short on some of your position, which is what I have set here, which I'll talk about this here in a second. So you can make money as the market's going down. That's a way to hedge without selling your position or adding any more money to the market. You can have some just in a leverage trading account where you can leverage short on a position to hedge against it dropping lower. So what I did here is I don't want to be in this trade until we actually break the 200-day moving average, and we also dip outside of the previous support here. So there was support right at like 46,260 for the last wicks. So what I did is I set a conditional order over here. You can set conditional orders. I set the trigger price to be 46,170. So when and if Bitcoin drops, so if it does happen, let's say it does cross that amount, I would be in a short position, okay, for 46,000 USDT. So if we do head there, it's going to short Bitcoin in the amount of 46,000. So, it'd be like right around 1 Bitcoin. So that would happen. If it doesn't, let's say we just head higher, nothing's going to happen. Like it won't execute the trade. I won't be in a leverage short position and we're fine. So that's one thing. You can either trade like within a zone. So you could like if you think we're going to be trading in a zone, like, we just were with Bitcoin, or you think maybe this is a zone, right? And you can trade the highs and lows, just play little volatility there. Or if you want to catch a bigger trade, it's even better to set buy limit orders, sell limit orders right outside of support and resistance. So when it does actually break a certain trend, you're catching a big move to the downside or the upside and profiting. So that's what's going on. That's why I do believe that that crypto, and amongst other things too, if you look at when historically when we've seen big bear markets, like if we look at like this time period, guess what was happening right here? When price really didn't move much, it was just kind of in a zone. We had a little bit of higher highs, and then we had a little bit of higher lows, and we had a lower low, and then we had a lower high, and then we dropped down. Guess what was happening here? All of the altcoins were taking off, and all the meme coins were absolutely blasting off. And that's usually a sign. When Bitcoin starts to level out, and then the altcoins keep pumping like ridiculous numbers, and Bitcoin's still just sitting there, like trying to break out, but there's low volume, and all these other coins are pumping, that's usually a great sign that the market's about to turn. So that's what's happening right now. We just saw it with Kusama and Solana and Atom and Avalanche and ADA. A lot of really big projects we just saw this with. So that is what is happening. That's what I feel is going to happen. So I did sell a little bit of Solana today. I am waiting for this conditional order to hit. And especially once this hit, I am going to leverage short on some alts as well, because they have a lot of volatility, and I think quite a few of them are overpriced as well. So that's what's happening, and that is what I'm doing. None of this is financial advice. You should definitely figure out what works for you, but I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So up to you what you want to do. And yeah, ADAX was obviously a great trade. I'm still up 100 grand, by the way. Literally, I put in 100K, and I'm still, even with the recent pullback, I'm still up over 100 grand because we bought it at 80. Actually, we started buying at 60 cents, and now, I think we bought the majority at right around 80 cents, and it's at $1.90 right now. So, not too bad for 6 or 7 days. Also, if you go look at my my last 5 crypto YouTube videos, pretty much everything that I talked about went up by at least 100%. So if you look at Hex, if you look at Solana, if you look at ADA, if you look at ADAX, pretty much literally everything I've been talking about. Hex is up over 300%. ADAX is up over 100%. Solana, ADA up over 100%. not too bad. So if you guys listened, you would be in a decent position. Yeah, exactly, John. So that's what happens is nice. I love to hear that you bought in an 8x at 30. We're actually, if you guys are a part of our inner circle group, I actually just did an hour live call with them, and we're buying a private token sale. I'm actually talking to the CEO. I've been doing a lot of like due diligence on the project the past 3 days, and we're about to buy this ICO that I think is going to has an opportunity to outperform ADAX as well. So we're literally buying it before anyone in the public can get a hold of it. And if you want to be a part of that, you should join the group. There's a link below this video. Yeah, nice. I think, Paul, I'm going to short the hell out of BTC too. I forget what my Telegram name is. It's like JSEC, I think. How can you grow with small amounts? Paul, the best thing to do is, honestly, you don't want to take too much risk when you don't have that much capital to risk, because if you take too much risk by buying ICOs or using leverage because you're trying to make up for not having a lot of money in crypto, you're going to lose. So like the number one thing you want to do is, at least if I was you and I had a low amount of money, which I have absolutely been there. I've been 80 grand in debt and still was trying to scrape money to put into crypto. What I would do is I would set buy limit orders. As the market's dropping, you're buying more and more. So you're just averaging back into the market, and buy projects with three things: a great team behind them. They have good token metrics, so they don't like inflate a ridiculous amount. And they have real utility, so they're actually being put to use. I recommend, or if I was you, I would set buy limit orders for projects that have crossed the box on all three of those things, because you do your own research and you believe in the project. Like examples that I believe check those boxes are like ADA, BNB, Solana, Theta, some of the dexes like Sushi and Radium, and so there's a decent amount of options that I believe have real utility, a good team, and good metrics. Set buy limit orders, get into the market, and then you go focus on income, because you got to make more money. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make, is like they try to be a full-time trader when you have no money. It's like, if you're starting with $1,000, you know how long it's going to take? Like, it's going to take until eternity. Even if you catch like the most ridiculous gain ever, it's still going to be marginal. So like, yes, invest money, but your number one priority should be focusing on building skills and going to make more money. So that's one thing that a lot of people make mistakes in trading, is they try to like literally be the ultimate trader when they literally don't even have any money to trade with to begin with. It also causes more emotion, because if you're putting in your last few dollars into a trade, you're going to have emotion and you're going to lose. So I think we're getting pretty close to this. How far are we away? Are we really $500 away? Oh yeah, we are 500. Yeah, so like John was saying, that's what happens when Bitcoin appreciates. A lot of like smart investors trade Bitcoin into the altcoins. The altcoins rise, and then there's nowhere for them to really go, and that's usually when the market, because then the market fills up with leverage, because this open interest starts to fill up, and then we see a lot, the market become over leveraged, and then we see it just tumble. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to show you guys is, by the way, this software is $10,000. This is another thing I don't really like to see. So the difference between crypto margined and cash margined. So like, you would want to be like right here, this trade that I'm talking about that may fill here soon. This trade right here is USDT. So that's a cash margined trade. Okay. You can also do crypto margin on here as well, which is just done. I think you can do it on here on Bybit. I know that I did it a lot on Binance.com. I believe you can do it on Bybit as well. But what it does is it gives you a return in the coin. So when it's crypto margined, like let's say if I leverage short on Bitcoin, it would actually pay me the return in Bitcoin. Okay, so when would you want to use crypto margin versus cash margin? You'd want to use crypto margin if you believe the price of crypto is appreciating. Because if you're getting paid out in something that you think is going to go down, why would you want that? That doesn't make much sense. So I usually like to see the crypto margin futures higher. You can see that they've been steadily dropping over. Can we go back further? They don't have the data. I guess the furthest that they will take you is November. So yeah, so like I would like to see this higher, because when it's cash margined, number one, that just shows me that the USDT is a whole nother story, but usually means that people want to be paid out in cash more than crypto, which pretty much means that people are betting more on cash outperforming crypto, which usually is kind of a bearish sign. So you can see, like, as the price was appreciating, less people were using the cash margin. That's what this orange line is down here. Okay, the orange line is how much the cash margin. Crypto margin, you can see that it was going up when price was going up. Then once price started to go down, the crypto margin came down. So that's been interesting to look at as well. SoMe. Yeah, I've heard some about SoMe. Yeah, I think ADAX, I was actually just doing a little bit of I don't even know if it's on, in our group, we were just talking about it because we all bought the hell out of it. So everyone's up like 100%. But yeah, they don't even have that up here. Let's see what, yeah, this is Cardano though. Why is it showing? Oh, XBT. Okay. Yeah, anyways, ADAX absolutely took off, and I think right around 170 is actually a decent price to get back in. So if you're looking to get back in, 170 is not bad. I would prefer to look closer to $1, to be honest. Which ADA is still at 270. Danielle, so her question was, with all the altcoins that have ripped, do we leave them? Here's the answer is, here's what I think the market's going to do. I think, which by the way, we're at let's go to total crypto. So let's just look at the total crypto market cap. We're not at all-time highs. I think the alts actually might be a little bit close. Let's look at excluding let's exclude Bitcoin. Yeah, we're getting somewhat close. Anyways, what I do think is going to happen is I do think that that we are going to likely head to like 42,000, and then I do think we're likely to head to all-time highs later this year. So I think, like I said, I think September is going to be a not so good month. I think it's going to present a lot of buying opportunities. And then I think after September, I think we are going to have a nice returns the last quarter of the year. I think we're going to have really explosive moves. But that's just my sentiment. So, like, if you're looking for a short-term trade, yeah, I guess you could sell some. For me at least, I am not, like, I sold a little bit of Solana and I sold a little bit of my other positions. Like, little bit. I'm talking like 5 to 10% of the position. Just to lock in profit. Because here's the thing. When you see exponential growth, like, there's no way to have exponential growth into eternity. So if you remember anything, remember this. You never lose when you take profit. So like literally, that's one of the biggest mistakes people make in crypto is they think that everything's going up for forever because in the moment everyone's hyping everything up and everyone thinks that everything is going up for forever and that's just not the case. So when you see something go up 650% in 4 weeks, it might be a little bit of a good idea to at least take a little bit of money off the table. I mean, yeah, so like for me, I like to take profit, and then I just like to have cash on the sideline to buy dips. And you know, if it keeps heading higher, that's cool too because I still have the majority of my position in it. So like I like to invest in what I believe in. Like I really do believe in the blockchain behind Solana, the team behind it, the $330 million from the best crypto VCs in the world that put money into it 2 months ago, and that's why I made the YouTube video to begin with. That's why I like Solana. Also, one of the richest guys in crypto is behind the project, which is the guy that owns FTX. And like, you know, so like there's many reasons why I believe in it. So that's why I wouldn't sell everything. If this was like a pump like coin that I didn't really believe in, I would have sold a lot more of it. But I believe in it long term. So I'm just like, hey, I'm going to take some profit on the table. If it dips lower, I'll buy more. If not, and it keeps heading higher, that's great. I'll just use some cash to buy something else. So that's what I do. And then and that's mid bull market. So like when I think we're heading to the end of the cycle, like the actual end of the cycle where we're going to be in a 1 year bear market likely, which I do think I think it's likely to be a little bit shorter than a year, but I think we're still going to have a nice heavy bear market. I will sell a lot more of the position. But anytime anything goes parabolic, I believe, at least for me, I take some profit off the table because again, you never lose if you take profit. Yeah, don't panic, sell. Everything will be ripping this Friday. Interesting. I wish I knew every day what everything was doing. That would be amazing. You think ADA will dump lower than Bitcoin? Honestly, not really. I don't think ADA will dump much lower than Bitcoin because I think everyone knows that September 12th, the smart contracts launching is right around the corner. ADA holds up stronger than most. Yeah, exactly. I mean, because 70% of ADA is staked. That's why. It's like that's how much people believe in ADA. They believe in it so much that 70% of the coin is literally put in a place that's in a wallet that cannot be sold like on an exchange to accumulate more ADA or something that's still in the ecosystem. So like there's a lot that's another thing you got to look at is like how big is the support behind the project. There's a ton of support behind ADA. There's a ton of support behind Ripple. That's why even with the lawsuit, it's still doing decently well. There's a ton of support now behind Solana. There's a ton of support behind ETH. All those things. Yeah. Yep. So I did not sell. Actually, I did. I think I sold like 2% of my ADA because it ran like, dude, I was literally buying it at 18 cents. So, I mean, come on, you gotta take a little bit, you know? So I took like 3% off. The only reason why I didn't take more is because I'm just like, I believe in it. I know what's around the corner. And I believe in the project. I believe in Charles. And I think the ecosystem's going to blow up. And that's exactly why I bought ADAX. So anyways, that is about it. I do need to do a few things, and it is 9:30. So thanks so much for hopping on, guys. I'll see you here in the next video. I'm going to talk a lot about more of like ecosystems behind these big chains like ADA and Solana. So definitely stay tuned for some of the next videos that are coming right around.